Hello, I'm Ginny Thomas and I'm the Training and Merchandising Manager for Jarden Consumer Solutions Europe. Today I'm going to introduce you to the FoodSaver brand and its products. FoodSaver is the leading vacuum sealing system around the world, which removes and locks out air using specially designed bags, rolls, canisters and accessories. This provides the consumer with the best food preservation system on the market today. Air is the enemy of food freshness. Oxygen and moisture in the air causes food to degrade and deteriorate over time, losing flavour and eventually going bad. FoodSaver removes the air when preserving food, prolonging the lifespan of your fresh food and retaining flavours for longer. The FoodSaver brand originated in the United States as the first consumer-focused vacuum sealing system way back in 1987. And it has since gone on to sell over 20 million appliances. As the industry leader, the FoodSaver brand continues to innovate with exclusive designs, as we can see here. They have features such as removable drip trays, patented bags, rolls and accessories. FoodSaver vacuum sealing systems have been proven to keep food fresher for up to 5 times longer. And it also prevents freezer burn. We can substantiate these claims with research to support that. FoodSaver also carries a 2-year guarantee. Supported by a wide range of vacuum sealing bags, rolls, canisters and other accessories, FoodSaver offers the complete vacuum sealing system and is the perfect solution for keeping food fresher for longer. The diverse FoodSaver range features models suitable for any kitchen and lifestyle, with prices ranging from 90 to 250 euros. Let's start with the compact model. This is perfect for just getting you started with vacuum sealing. We then come along the range and we add roll storage, so you can now keep your FoodSaver roll with the machine, so it's on hand all the time. Onto this one, we have a very small footprint and we can actually stand this upright, which means that you can tuck it away very neatly. Then we start getting into some serious vacuum sealing, fully automated. It does everything for you. Let me introduce you to the 001 machine. This machine is perfect to get you started with vacuum sealing. It's very simple to use as well. Let me show you. We lift the lid and we have a drip tray here. It's perfect for the FoodSaver bags. All we do is take the pre-made bag and just put it into the drip tray that's inside the machine. We close the lid down. Now this has a 2-click system. So 1 click is for storage. So you can put this machine neatly away in any cupboard. The 2nd click has 2 green bands showing on either side of the machine. This is really important to make sure they're exposed, because otherwise the machine won't work. It has a simple 1-button operation. This is now taking the air out of the bag, and it's showing you that you have progress lights on here. Once it's extracted the air, we have a red light that shows that it's actually heat sealing. This machine also has an overheat indicator light, so if you have overused your machine, it will show you. Just rest it for a moment and it will be ready to go. Once all the lights go out, you can then just press the 2 buttons on the side to remove the bag. And then we can take the bag out, all ready to put into your fridge or your freezer. As we move up the range, we have the 004 machine with some added features. We still have the double-click system. We lift the lid and this machine now has roll storage, so that's perfect for keeping your FoodSaver roll ready to use whenever you want to use the machine. Now the cutter will cut the plastic into the size of bag that you want, but it won't hurt you. I'm going to pull the roll out and I'm going to take it to the seal edge. And that's a little black strip at the front of the machine. Close the lid down. Remember, 1 click is for storage and 2 is for use. So always remember to have the 2 green bands out on either side of the machine, otherwise your machine won't work. It has a 1-button use on here for heat seal. It's perfectly easy to use. Let me show you. You get a little red light on, which shows you that something's actually happening. It has an overheat indicator just here, if you've overused the machine and it needs to have a couple of minutes rest. The light has now gone out. press the side buttons, which releases the lid. You can now pull your bag out to whatever size you want it to be. Use the cutter to run along, and that goes from left to right or from right to left. And here's your bag. I've got one here with the meat already in it, and I'm just going to show you how to vacuum seal now. You take the open end and you place it into the green drip tray. Remember, that's the removable drip tray here, so you can easily wash it out. Close the lid, doing the double click system. So one for storage, two for use. And then we have the middle button on here that will actually vacuum and seal your bag for you. Progress light showing you that something's working, and you'll hear the pitch of the machine change, and then the red light comes on to show you that it's actually going to heat seal. Once the lights go out, we can then press the side buttons, and that releases the lid. There you are, perfect. One of the additional features for the 004 is the moist setting, which then ensures the perfect seal, whatever the level of moisture included in your food. Simple operation and perfect for any marinade that you need to vacuum seal. One of the latest additions to the FoodSaver range is the 005. Very smart, very sleek, and very easy to use. But it also has some really good additional features. Let me just talk you through them. So the first feature here is a variable speed option, and that's really useful if you're going to be vacuum sealing delicate products that you actually just want to slow it down a wee bit and have a bit more control. The next one you have is the canister option. Fantastic for steaks and when you're doing your barbecuing. You have a dry moist function, and you also have a pulse option. Now this works really well with your variable speed. Now the variable speed on here is perfect, as I say, for delicate options. So if you have scones or if you have a cake that you want to preserve but actually don't want it squashed too much, you can use that on this one and have complete control. You then have the seal only option. Now this is quite useful for you, particularly if you want to just seal a bag. And you can seal FoodSaver bags and also some other bags as well. Then of course you have your vacuum and seal option, which does the whole process for you. It's very easy to use. You lift the lid, and here we have a steak in the pre-made bag, and we just, as before, place the open end into the drip tray. Close the lid down, and just click the lever back until all your lights show. You have the vacuum and seal option here, and I'm just going to press that. You hear the pitch change in the machine, and when the machine stops and the lights go out, there you go. You can then remove the bag. Some of you may recognise the 2860. It's very similar to the 005, our previous machine. However, this machine is for online pure players only. Let me just show you one of the unique features that it has. There is a button just on the left-hand side. Press the button, which releases the machine to be stored vertically. So you have a very small footprint. The other features on the machine are very similar to the 005, but let me just show you how we use it. We open the front of the machine and we take our pre-made bag, and again we insert into the drip tray like we have done on previous machines. We close the machine down and lock it into position, and then the lights come on. The machine is now ready to go. So again, similar functions to the 005, and we're just now going to press the vacuum seal and seal only. This is now taking the air out of the bag. You hear the pitch change on the machine, which is telling you something's happening. You can then release the lever. Very simple to use. And now we've arrived at the top of the range. This is a superb machine that caters for all of your vacuum sealing needs. Very simple to use, as with all of the FoodSaver range. Let me show you. It's a very simple on-off process. After 10 minutes of non-use, it will automatically turn itself off, saving energy. Then you also have a marinating option. perfect for barbecues. You have the canister option next, and that's really good for salads and soups and things like that. Then you have a slow and a fast option. With that, if you have, say, scones or cakes that you don't want to crush, you can slow the process down and just actually vacuum seal it to the perfect size that you want. We then come up to the dry moist option and a cancel function, just in case you get it wrong. And then of course you have the seal only. The front of the machine just pulls open, and inside the machine you have your FoodSaver roll storage and your cutter. Don't forget, it doesn't hurt you. You pull out as much of the FoodSaver rolls as you want for your produce and run the cutter along. Don't forget, it goes from left to right or from right to left. You now have two open ends and we're going to make a bag. Close the front of the machine and we press our button here, which is our seal only option. We take the open end and we just feed it into this little tiny slot at the bottom. You'll get a red light on and a blue light, which is a progress light telling you that something's actually happening. We wait for the blue light to go out before we take the end out, and then you will have a made bag. There's our bag, so it's quite simple to use. We have one here with some salmon in, and we're just going to vacuum seal that. We touch nothing on here. It's so simple, it does it for itself. You take the open end, feed it into the slot, not pressing anything. This is now going to take the air out of the bag. The pitch changes on the machine, telling you that something's happening. If you don't get that, then it might not be that it's actually seen the bag. We have our red light on here, which is saying it's actually heat sealing now, ensuring that none of the air escapes, keeping your food fresher for longer. Once these lights go out, you take your bag out. FoodSaver give you the option of pre-made bags. They're all pre-packed neatly for you to put away in the cupboard, ready to use with your FoodSaver machine, or bags on a roll. The bags are 5-ply, so they make them really strong, which basically means that you can use them for many things. You can cut the bags to suit, and it also has a white strip on here, which means you can write what's actually in the bag, because once food is frozen, some of the meats can look very similar. The bags are all BPA free, so they're safe for all of the family. And you can either simmer with them or you can defrost in the microwave with them. So many, many uses. FoodSaver offer a varied range of accessories. Let's have a look at them. We have some canisters here. They come in sets of 3. This is large, medium and small. These are perfect for soups, for salads, and they're dry foods like fruit and nut. We also have some lunch boxes. These are perfect for when you're on the go. So if you've had perhaps a spaghetti bolognese the night before and you have some left over, don't throw it away, let's use it. You can have it for lunch the next day. The lids are vacuum sealed, so it's not going to spill out for you and it's going to keep it fresh, as with fruit salad, all sealed and kept perfectly fresh for you. So we have our fresh containers here. They come in variable sizes and they're stackable. They're also made of Triton plastic, which means they're shatterproof, odour resistant, stain resistant. You can use them in the fridge, the freezer, the dishwasher. You can even put them in the microwave. So really multiple uses. Let me show you how they work. All FoodSaver machines come with a hose accessory. Now this is either loose, like this is, or it's inbuilt onto the machine. I think it's quite simple to use because both ends are exactly the same, so you can't get it wrong. So we're just going to take one end, and there's a whole attachment on the front of the machine. And I'm just going to put one end into here, put it onto the front, clicked on nicely onto the storage container. We put our hose into here. Make sure it's on securely. You then lock the machine into place so that the machine is on, and with the canister option, you just press it. That's now taking the air out of that container, which obviously means it's keeping your food fresher for longer. If you hear, the pitch is changing as with the bags. We can now just take that out, and you can see on the front, there's a dimple here. That means it's taken the air out of the container, meaning that your food is going to be fresher for longer. They're also stackable. perfect for every storage solution. Moving on, we also have a marinating option. Now this is fantastic for barbecues. Not only barbecues, you can use it indoors all year round. What this does is you put your meat in and you put your marinade. And this has a special program on some of the machines that will actually pulse the meat, which means it's going to stretch the fibres of the meat, allowing the juices of the marinade to get deep inside the fibres of the meat. It tenderises the meat at the same time, and it does it all within about 10 minutes. So we get some amazing results very, very quickly. Coming on to bottles, we have a bottle stop as well. Now, if you have a very nice bottle of red wine and you don't want to drink it all at once, you can actually save your red wine for up to 3 months. And you do that with the bottle stop. It's a very simple procedure. Let me show you. You take the bottle stop and you just put it into the top of the bottle. We come to our hose and we have our hose attachment, and that just goes into the top of the bottle stop. Quite easy. You then press your canister option again. That's now going to take the air out of that bottle. So that means that after 3 months, you will still have some very nice red wine to drink. FoodSaver is a fantastic product, but as with lots of products, they need demonstrating. And the best way to demonstrate this product is to get as much theatre as you can with it. One of the demonstrations that we use are marshmallows. These are really visual and show the consumer exactly how the machine will work. Take your hose, take your canister with your marshmallows and place the end of the hose into the one hole on the top. Take the other end and put it into the machine. Make sure your machine is on. Press the canister option and watch the marshmallows. The air is being taken out of the marshmallows, so they're actually getting bigger. Lots of people find this really amusing, particularly children. So with the air being taken out of the container, the marshmallows are stretching. And then you can go on and explain how the air is taken out of the containers. You can see now the marshmallows are huge. You can't get into the container. So how we do that is we have to release the air. And we do that by pressing and holding the grey button on the top. Wow, look at that. Marshmallows have shrunk back to size. And then, of course, if you want to, you can even offer your marshmallows out to the consumer. This is another good example of how to create that theatre. We have an empty can, and all you need is an empty can and a FoodSaver bag. Take your empty can, and people will say to you, why are you putting an empty can into the bag? We're doing it to show the strength of the machine. So we take the bag, and again, we open the machine. We feed the open end into the drip tray. Now, obviously, again, if you have the 3840 machine, it needs to go into the slot at the bottom. Place the open end into the drip tray, close the machine, lock it into position. Now press the vacuum and seal option. Watch the can. People love this. Amazing, isn't it? It's quite dramatic. And what happens now is when you finish with this and the machine has finished sealing the bag, you can actually leave it with your customer. One of the demonstrations we use is just taking a fresh egg and putting it into a FoodSaver bag. So we've just taken the egg, we've placed it in the bag. We're now going to make sure that the machine is on. So we take the bag and we feed it into the drip tray. Or if you have the 3840 machine, just into the slot at the bottom. Close the machine down. All we need to do now is press the vacuum and seal option. Everybody expects the egg to actually crack. So we're just waiting for the bag to seal. Once the bag has sealed, we'll take the bag out and show the consumer or the customer the egg. Now, why would we do that, you ask? The customer will say, well, what good is it for me? And what we can say is it's just showing you how strong but how careful the FoodSaver vacuum system is. When we've done that, let me show you what we do. We place the egg down on the table and people say to you, yes, but I bet it's hard boiled. And it isn't. We just go. Just shows them how clever it is. FoodSaver bags and rolls are made of a certain type of plastic that's difficult to recycle. However, don't forget you can reuse the bags. You can wash them out. The only time that we would say don't reuse the bags is if you've had raw meat or fish in them. The FoodSaver warranty on appliances and accessories is a 2-year limited warranty. There's lots of other uses for vacuum sealing. It isn't only confined to the kitchen. For instance, you can vacuum seal silver cutlery. By taking the air out of the packaging with the silver cutlery won't tarnish. You can also use it to stop things going rusty, and perhaps you may have that precious document that you want to keep safe. If you have a boat, if you're lucky enough to have a boat, you can even vacuum seal your mobile phone so it won't get wet and damaged. There are certain foods that you can't vacuum seal. For instance, raw broccoli, mushrooms, onions. These produce let off a natural gas, which although initially the vacuum will hold in the bag, once the gas takes effect, it then loses the vacuum seal, which means it won't retain its freshness. Cooked food can be vacuum sealed. It can be kept in the fridge or the freezer. And if you want to defrost it from the freezer, you just have to remember to defrost in the fridge. Or you can even defrost in the microwave just by cutting off the corner of the bag. Certain foods can be stored using the FoodSaver system for up to 5 times longer than conventional storage methods. For example, if you have hard cheese, when you vacuum seal it with the FoodSaver system, it goes up to 8 months. And that's in your fridge, not your freezer. The other example is if you have meat in your freezer that hasn't been vacuum sealed by the FoodSaver system, it's going to last you about 3 to 4 months before it gets freezer burn and starts deteriorating. With the FoodSaver vacuum sealing system, it will go up to 2 to 3 years. FoodSaver is better than the competition because it's the #1 vacuum sealing system in the world, with over 20 million units sold. FoodSaver also has a range of exclusive innovations, including a removable drip tray and an automated vacuum sealing function. FoodSaver is also scientifically proven to keep food fresh for up to 5 times longer, and it also prevents freezer burn. The best ways to attract people to the FoodSaver vacuum sealing system and to see the demonstration is obviously theatre. But it's also important where you're positioned in store. You have to be on a high footfall walkway so you're getting lots of people walking past you. Also, the foods that you're actually demonstrating with are very important. You need colour, texture. That attracts people to come up and ask you what's actually on your table. For instance, one good product that's really good to show, some coffee beans. People often ask me, what's in that bag? What is it? Is it chocolate? And it's always nice to be able to say, no, it isn't. It's actually coffee. And you can actually show the customer and ask them to smell the bag, because if you think about it, the 5-ply FoodSaver bags do not allow the odours to escape. And this is a lovely example to show them. The FoodSaver brand is the original and the best, and continues to innovate to ensure maximum freshness for your food, with a great range of vacuum sealers, as well as exclusive BPA-free bags, rolls and accessories.